I'm not speaking to the mind. This is a mind bypass. I'm not speaking to the mind. I'm speaking something into your being, but your mind is saying, I don't understand. Don't understand? And I'm saying, but it's okay. I'm not talking to you.
And then being monogamous or polygamous, it's just an happening in the present moment.
The self. What is important? What is important is that the self is neither monogamous nor polygamous.
It's fascinating because 10 years ago I came to see you in Dublin and ran away totally freaked out. And today I'm loving it. It's fascinating to see the difference. Just to make it brief, because there's lots of people. There's been lots of things happening in the last 3 years which I'm really happy. And there's a crack, there's an opening, and there's a lot of joy and happiness.
Yes.
With that, there's fear of what I might discover in total freedom. And the fear is, it might sound silly, but I'm going to share it with you because I think it could be useful for me and other people. With total freedom, I'm afraid I might discover I don't want to be monogamous. And although it sounds silly, it sounds painful to me. It's like a sticky area that I wanted to push away.
Yes, yes.
So, like, I'm avoiding that.
I am happy that you can bring that honesty. I'm happy that you will never be judged on honesty. It's completely reasonable to admit that these things come. Myself also, most unreasonable, far more ridiculous things happened in my case. When this opportunity was completely unfolding, this pull towards the unknown, I even had the fear, I'm going to become Quasimodo. Now, I don't even know what Quasimodo is, to be honest, you know. I only saw it in a film, and so where does this thing come from? We don't know. I saw myself hobbling down the road. And I said, oh, no. But it's completely ridiculous thing. It's not even part of my culture to be thinking about Quasimodo. Yeah? And then you come a fear that also I was going to lose my manhood or something. This feeling came, you know. And each time these feelings came up, it brought up a kind of resistance, but only momentarily, because a deeper conviction was also there. Maybe I cannot call it total conviction, but there was a movement, a presence that was there, that was counteracting also this fear. There was a bit of pull. But intuitively, the weight was more on the side of the intuition, because I know it wasn't a product of my mind, what was taking place, and yet the mind was coming up in taking shape in ways that I just thought, but also I suddenly had a fear of groups, that somehow I'll be sucked into some group and start to behave like a groupie or something and lose the sense of independence, all these things. And each time they come, I said, if you want this, then okay, I say yes to it. If this is what's going to happen, for the sake of truth, because I saw it, that it was my being united with God. I felt like this, but it felt in that moment, because the mind was there and said that, okay, but if you say yes, you're going to be with God, but as Quasimodo. You're going to be with God, but as a eunuch. You're going to be with God, but completely destitute. And I was saying, okay. And one by one, these things fell away, because there are no truth in them. And some people back away because say, oh no, maybe because you isolate yourself and you start to, in a way, meet these responses as a person. Then the mind can get you. If you stay as a person, mind can get. this type of fears can get.
So, if I get it right, the concept of becoming quasi-mono is not what creates the pain, because you could have ended up being quasi-mono and being happy. It's whether within your intuition you want to be quasi-mono or not. So, applicable, does it make sense what I'm asking?
No, what you are saying is that if in your case, there is this feeling that if somehow something says yes to this, whatever yes may mean, yes meaning a kind of surrender to the unknown.
Yeah.
How can anybody surrender to the unknown? Because something is here. Something has touched you that nothing else can. It's not because you're clever, not because you figured anything out, but you have been touched. You've been kissed from inside. And you are on fire. And the mind will rage a storm against this, because somehow the mind actually doesn't exist. But in the belief system of the person, it is like a formidable force. So something puts the gun to your head. It says, okay, if you go there, and so something is precious to you, because the mind can only blackmail you if you have something to defend. He says, you know, if you go, maybe you are in a relationship that you have a faithfulness, a loyalty to your partner, whatever it is. You don't have?
No. It's a concept in the future. It's funny because I'm actually single now. So
yeah.
But it's this concept that if I allow, well, I should have phrased that from the beginning. It's this concept that if I allow myself to be myself fully, then I'll end up into indulging and never find the way back, which I'm already doing in a way, you know, in total honesty. But the problem is the fear of there's not going to be a point of no return.
First understand that it is quite on cue for fears like this to show up.
Can you rephrase that, please?
Right about now, that's when the fears are going to start popping up. And it's popping up because of the very auspiciousness of the unfolding for you. And if you keep paying attention to these things, you will forget the glory of your own state. You see? Because something it's painting all the pictures of all your gremlins are coming up into a kind of farm. And you have to somehow just throw all of it away. Don't wait for the perfect moment, for some guarantee for where you're going to go. Just say yes.
And with that means also saying yes to the fear. So when the fear emerges...
No. Say yes to yourself.
Okay.
Say yes to the truth. The fears only have some holding power while you are identified with your projections. They have a power. But when you say yes to what is true, then they have no place to stand. You are walking along the beach, one foot in the water, one on the sand. You're not sure if you want to swim or walk. So the fishes will bite you and the crabs will bite you. Once you are clear, you know, that yes, it's a simple thing actually. But the mind is buying time. Or your fear of the loss of identity, or whatever it is that gives the mind this type of volatileness, that is is supplying from you the consciousness, who has you still have an affection for the infection. And so somehow these games can play. As soon as you're decisive, all these things fall away. And fears are these type of fears are the aces up the sleeve of the mind. It will start to pull out these things. It will seem like this.
When you say you have to say yes to the truth.
No, you don't, not that you have to. I mean, I'm speaking to you, yes, I speak to you. If I speak to you as consciousness speaking to consciousness, I tell you, you have to say yes. I'm not speaking to you as a person speaking to a person, then you start to tell me, well, I can do what I want and so on. This is different. But I speak to you, I always am speaking to you as consciousness speaking to consciousness, about consciousness.
It's fascinating because when I was sitting in the chair, I could understand everything you said,
could.
and now I can't.
Yes, I understand. I know exactly what is going on, because somehow there is a point where something inside is going no, 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 something which is the loudness of your mind is caught somehow in the light of that inquiry. So it's just kind of like it gone and shut down, blank. But you're aware of that, and if you, I'm not speaking to the mind. This is a mind bypass. I'm not speaking to the mind. I'm speaking something into your being, but your mind is saying, I don't understand. Don't understand? And I'm saying, but it's okay. I'm not talking to you. Because quite often the mind moves forward to represent you. It's moving in your name. It derived that power from you. Not to blame, it's just how it is. And it's okay. It's okay. I don't feel you're blocked. I never regard you can never be blocked. Not in my eyes. You can be blocked. You might think you're blocked. If you try to get it with your mind, I say, no, don't worry about this. Don't worry about it.
And in a way, it's not wrong even to experience those fears as long as you don't identify with them. That's what I'm getting.
If you don't identify with them, then they don't have much time to live. Because these fears, they can only live on the oxygen of your attention.
That's what I'm getting.
If you don't give attention to them, they can't live for very long.
Yeah. So it's okay to see them, to kind of stay with the pain but not with the suffering, like to see the images and not identify with those.
Just let it be.
Let it be. Exactly, that's what I meant.
Let it be, and you stay. It's true. You let it be, you stay as you are. And it will be like this for a while. It won't be a status quo forever. If you don't supply energy through fear or identity to these forces, they naturally have no place to go but to return to emptiness.
And then being monogamous or polygamous, it's just an happening in the present moment.
The self... What is important is that the self is neither monogamous nor polygamous. The body-mind expression will take whatever form is true to itself in that moment as an expression. But you will know that these things, by the time it gets to that stage, they will not be significant for you. And also, you must remember also that there's a harmony to what is. And it expresses itself with a sweet integrity. It's not that you're going to start. One lady also, she says, if I let go to this calling inside, I just think I'm going to go around killing a lot of people. And I said that you've been living all your life in self-control to stop you from killing people. It's just your mind is making this out. It's like this. It's a ludicrous thing. It's not like this at all. And it just somehow serves to delay that sweet recognition in yourself. At some point, you will not have fears about these things. You will just say, take it all. You will not defend anything at all, and that is freedom. You won't be trying to protect some insecurity or trying to... All this thing is part of our illness. Something is open. I'm not saying that there won't be moments that one will experience the taste of vulnerability, of fear, sadness, and all these things will come. There are waves also on the ocean of existence. They will come, but they will not grow. They won't linger, because the soil of ego is not there to supply them with growing ground. And you will do it.
Wow.